What's going on, NBA fanatics? This is your friendly neighborhood Memphis Grizzly homer, Memphis X, and I talk hoops. Today is the day. It is NBA Day, Christmas Eve, all of that good stuff. And I am coming with my Western Conference War Zone, my power rankings for the Western Conference, and I'm going to have also some other things to go with it. But first, every hero needs their theme music.
Piano.
Grizz gang, go hard. Yeah. Baddest in the game, we be on one. I talk hoops, so secure. All up on the court, but we gon' score. Memphis bringing heat straight from Tennessee. Demarest spiking, let's go for he that MVP.
So, the NBA season is upon us tonight. I am very happy and excited to finally be able to watch some real, live, meaningful NBA basketball. I'm happy about that, and I know you guys are too. So today, I'm going to start my weekly segment, Western Conference War Zone, but the first one of the season is going to serve as my predictions for the season, while also having my power rankings in the West. You'll see my power rankings in the West, but I'm going to have my record predictions on there also. And I will have my record predictions for the East, playoff predictions, and award predictions. And hopefully this doesn't take forever. But we're going to try to get through this as fast as possible. But you know how it is. This thing is lengthy. So, in the Western Conference, yes, I'm starting with the Western Conference because honestly, I was going to do them separately, but I don't really care about the East that much. Until the Grizzlies make it out of the West, my whole concentration is on the Western Conference. So that's where my brain is going to lie until the Grizzlies prove me right and get out of the Western Conference and into the NBA Finals. So, at number 15, we have the San Antonio Spurs. I have the San Antonio Spurs at 18-64 for the season. I think they're going to make a real good run at being the number one team in the Tankathon, and that's where I have them. At number 14, I have the Oklahoma City Thunder at 22-60. I think they're going to make a late run for the Tankathon. At number 13, I have the Utah Jazz at 23-59. They're going to come up just a little bit short, and that's going to be due to having too many good players at the beginning of the season. They should have made those trades in the offseason by any means necessary. I don't know why he didn't just give those guys away to the Lakers for free for Westbrook. But, you know, it is what it is. At number 12, we have the Houston Rockets at 25-57. This team is going to be naturally bad. They have a lot of young guys. They're going to play a lot of young guys. They're going to lose a lot of games, and they're going to win some games that people aren't expecting them to win. And I think they're going to win a lot of games against the other tanking teams in the league. At number 11, I have the Portland Trail Blazers, and I have them at 30-52. I think this team is on a shaky foundation, not only health-wise with Nurk and Dame being so, instrumental to their success, but also their depth is light and their defense is terrible. But they do have my number one projected player in this draft, Shaedon Sharpe, so I hope he gets a lot of time, and I think they're going to make a late push to get as close as they can to the Wemby race as possible late in the season. They might even sit Dame out or trade him, hopefully. At number 10, the first play-in team, I got it. The Sacramento Kings, I have them at 39-43, and I have them making the play-in as the 10th seed, and I think the Sacramento fans will be happy with this result. At number 9, I have the Los Angeles Lakers at 42-40. I think they're going to be up and down. I think they're going to make a trade during the season that's going to bolster their lineup and give them a fighting chance, or have them think they're going to have a fighting chance to make some noise in the playoffs. At number 8, I have the Dallas Mavericks at 45-37. I think that their signing of Campazzo is a telltale sign that the load on Luka is going to be heavy this year. And their second ball handler is Spencer Dinwiddie, who is not that reliable health-wise. So I think that's going to slow them down a little bit. And I think Luka's workload from the Euros, from last season, the Euros to this season, is going to wear him out as the season goes down. At number 7, I have the Minnesota Timberwolves at 49-33. I think they're going to have some growing pains at the beginning of the season, but they'll get it together in the middle of the season, and this will have them where they're at. At number 6, I have the New Orleans Pelicans at 50-32. They're back. They joined back into the 50-win club. And I think they're going to have a pretty good season. I think they're going to spend a little bit of time getting their defense together. And I wouldn't be shocked if they traded Jonas Valanciunas to Indiana or somewhere else in hopes of increasing their defense and getting a big that can play some defense a little bit better and who needs fewer shot attempts. At number 5, I have the Denver Nuggets at 52-30. I think they're going to make sure they're in the top 6, but I don't think they're going to have their foot to the gas the whole season, burning out Jokic and Murray and Porter the whole season. I don't think they're going to have their foot to the gas like that, and I don't think their depth is going to allow them to rest their main players without consequences, as in losses. At number 4, I have the Phoenix Suns, also at 52-30. I think they're going to have a real good season. I think they're going to fall back from last season because I think Chris Paul is going to play fewer games, fewer minutes, and I think that clutch thing that they had going on last season is going to fall off a little bit. At number 3, I have the Golden State Warriors at 53-29, a little bit better than last season, and I think they are going to really, just like the Suns, they're going to take their foot off the gas, let their young guys get as much experience as they can in high-pressure situations. You're probably going to see them play games, the young guys, a lot of minutes against the tanking teams and other teams that they know they can beat. And I don't think they're going to have Steph Curry playing heavy minutes because he kind of wore down last season. And, you know, when he got injured, he was allowed to rest and he was able to turn it up in the playoffs. So I think they're going to, instead of having that come naturally through injury, I think they're going to do it artificially and rest him a lot during the season because all they care about is going back to back. At number 2, I have the Los Angeles Clippers at 53-29. I think this team is also a fragile team. Like most of the teams in the West, they're all fragile. There's no real team that can withstand stand injuries to key players, of course. But I think people are really overestimating their depth as far as being high level for the playoffs. But for the regular season, I think they're going to punish bad teams real bad. Real bad. They are going to punish bad teams, and they're going to still keep Paul George and Kawhi Leonard on a short leash as far as their minutes and games played because they know it's all about the playoffs. And at number 1, I have your Memphis Grizzlies at 57-25. I have this as the best record in the league. Like I've been saying, I haven't wavered in my stance. I think Ja Morant's going to have a phenomenal year. I think Jaren Jackson's going to come back sooner than expected. And I think they're going to hold up surprisingly well without Jaren Jackson out. So I look for Jaren Jackson to come back the second week of November. And I look for the Grizzlies to be above 500 when he does come back. And I look for them to go on, like I've told you guys, a hell of a run when Jaren comes back and gets acclimated. And I think their defense is going to be top notch. And I think their offense is going to be electric because I think you're going to get the Ja Morant MVP show the Desmond Bain secondary jump and Jaren Jackson's three-point shot is going to return this season when he comes back. And I think you're going to see the first rebirth of the Jaren pick and roll, pick and pop to close out games, and it's going to be glorious. So that is the Western Conference as I have it. And I'm going to tell you guys, I did go over all of the records to make sure they're even as far as the number of wins. So there's no janky stuff around here. So I'm going to go through the East a little bit faster. At 15, I have the Charlotte Hornets at 19-63. I think that team's going to be terrible. The defense is going to be terrible. The vibes are going to be terrible. The team's going to be terrible. And I think they're going to have a challenging season. At number 14, I have the Detroit Pistons at 25-57. I don't think they're going to be bad. I think they're going to be young, and I think they're going to end up parsing out some of their vets like Bojanovic. I think they're going to let him go late in the season, either via trade or they're going to release him and let nature take its course. At 13, I have the Indiana Pacers at 27-55. At number 12, I have the Orlando Magic at 31-51. Sorry about that. At number 12, I have the Washington Wizards at 29-53. At number 11, I have the Orlando Magic at 31-51. And for the lowest play-in team, I have the New York Knicks at 41-41. At number 9, I have the Chicago Bulls at 42-40. At number 8, I have the Cleveland Cavaliers at 47-35. At number 7, I have the Miami Heat at 48-34. At 6, I have the Toronto Raptors at 49-33. At 5, I have the Brooklyn Nets at 50-32. At number 4, I have the Atlanta Hawks at 51-31. And I'm just telling you guys, I have a good feeling that Trae Young is going to have a huge year. But y'all know I like Trae Young. So I'm a little homerish about Trae Young. At number 3, I have the Milwaukee Bucks at 52-30. At number 2, I have the Boston Celtics at 54-28. And number 1 in the East and second overall record, I have the Philadelphia 76ers at 55-27. I think they're going to have a good year. So I have, of course, in the 9-10 game, in the West, I have the Kings and the Lakers. And I have the Kings winning that game. I know. I said the Lakers are going to make a trade, but I think the Kings are going to find a way. By that time, the Lakers are going to be kind of wore down with AD, LeBron, and I think the Kings are going to find a way to win a one-game series. The 7-8 game, I have the Minnesota Timberwolves and the Dallas Mavericks, and I have the Minnesota Timberwolves winning that game. And then in the 10-8 match, I have the Sacramento Kings and the Dallas Mavericks. And I have the Kings beating the Mavericks and beating Luka Jokic in a play-in game and being able to celebrate and save some face. And I feel that they're going to have a bigger celebration than even Minnesota had when they win the play-in games and end up in the playoffs. I think that's going to happen. In the East, in the play-in, I have the 9-10 game. I have the Bulls and the Knicks, and I have the Knicks winning that game. In the 7-8 game, I have the Heat and the Cavs, and I have the Cavs winning that game. In the 10-7 game between the Bulls and the Heat, I have the Heat winning that game, and the Heat will be the 7th seed or the 8th seed in the playoffs, even though they finished as the 7th seed during the regular season. And I have, of course, the Cavs and the Heat sneaking into the playoffs from and inverting themselves. Cavs will be the 7th seed and the Heat will be the 8th seed. So for the first seed in the West, I have the Grizz versus the Kings, and I have the Grizz winning that. The Clippers versus the Minnesota Timberwolves, I have the Clippers winning that. The Warriors versus the Pelicans, I have the Warriors winning that. And the Suns versus the Nuggets, and I have the Nuggets winning that game. In the second round, I have the Grizz versus the Nuggets, and I have the Grizzlies winning that. Clippers versus the Warriors, 2-3 matchup, and I have the Warriors beating the Clippers. And in the 1 versus 3, I have a rematch of the playoffs, Grizzlies versus the Warriors, and I've already told you I have the Grizzlies winning that matchup. In the East, I have the 76ers versus the Heat, 1 versus 8, and I have the 76ers winning that. The Celtics versus the Cavs, and I have the Celtics winning that. The Bucks versus the Raptors, I have the Raptors winning that. Yes, I do. The Hawks versus the Nets, I have the Nets winning that. So I have the 76ers versus the Nets in the second round, and I have the 76ers winning that. And I have the Celtics versus the Raptors, and I have the Celtics winning that series. And I have the 76ers beating the Celtics in the Eastern Conference Finals to face your Memphis Grizzlies and come up short as the Grizzlies beat their old friend DeAnthony Melton in the finals and come home with our first championship. Yeah, I am a homer. So let me go over my awards. For the MVP, of course, you know I have Ja Morant. Defensive Player of the Year, I have Joel Embiid. I think the Philadelphia Sixers are going to have a great defense this season, even with Harden and Maxey at the point of attack. Rookie of the Year, I have Keegan Murray. Coach of the Year, I have Taylor Jenkins. Sixth Man of the Year, I have Jordan Poole. And Most Improved Player, I have John Collins of the Atlanta Hawks. All NBA, first team, I have Ja Morant, Steph Curry, Jason Tatum, Giannis, and Joel Embiid. Second team, I have Luka, Trey, Kevin Durant, Brandon Ingram, and the Joker. Third team, I have Jaylen Brown getting his payday, Devin Booker, Pascal Siakam, Karl Anthony Towns, and Bam Adebayo. For all defense, first team, I have Drew Holiday, DeJounte Murray, Herb Jones, Jaren Jackson, and Joel Embiid. Second team, I have Marcus Smart, Mikal Bridges, OG Anunoby, Ben Simmons, and Bam Adebayo. For Rookie of the Year, for all rookie team, I have Jaden Ivey, first team, Benedict Mathurin, Jabari Smith, Paolo Banchero, and Keegan Murray. Second team, I have Jalen Williams, the shooting guard for Oklahoma, Ousmane Dieng of Oklahoma City, Shaedon Sharpe of Portland Trailblazers, Tari Eason of the Houston Rockets, and Grizzlies' own David Roddy. So those are my predictions and my records and all that mess. Let me know what you think about this super duper long episode of iTalkHoops. Let me know what you think about my predictions in the comments section and about my all NBA, MVP, all that mess. Guys, I'm so excited for the NBA tonight. I know you guys are. We'll be talking about the Grizzlies tomorrow, a full-on Grizzlies preview. Game 1 of the regular season versus the New York Knicks. Let's get it.